action we do with body, speech and mind, it just creates an imprint. If, and we won't be able to go into this, there's so many factors that will, conditions that will make an imprint, positive or negative, mixed, all this. It's very, very complicated. And the law of cause and effect, it's one of the phenomena that we can't really experience. Only a fully awakened being can see that this action that I do now with this kind of attitude will bring that result. So we can assume. We can use logic, we can weigh up, okay, benefit, hardship, when I do not do this, don't do this and that, and also maybe look at the other teachings of the Buddha, the Four Noble Truths. I'm sure many of you know them. Yeah? That he said there is dissatisfaction, or maybe in modern terms, that the Buddha said with an ordinary mind as we have, he said childish mind, so we look at children, it is very easy to get frustrated and stressed. Is that true or not? Definitely. They need so little, especially for children. Oh, yeah. So that's true. Then he said the causes for this is wrong views, kind of grasping at an inherently existing I am the center of the universe, I'm the most important person. And then attachment, desire, aversion, anger, hate. Do you think the problems in the world that we have with the neighbors or globally is due to that? Do you think it's due to trying to find happiness where there is no lasting happiness, which means comfort? Do you think that's true? Huh? That is the cause? Wrong views? All the science and those, they also make good things, that I'm not saying with medicine and all this, but in general, now we get the whole thing, the damage and all this.
It's attachment. So
do you think that this can be the cause for suffering? Wrong views, attachment or desire and hatred and anger and all this? Or for standing in the way for being happy? Really happy. Happy without needing all these conditions around us to be happy. Can we accept that as true? Yeah, I think this is quite easy to see, even for us childish, ordinary beings. The third noble truth, the cessation. It is possible to end the causes and then the results, of course. If you end the cause, the result is ended. Then it's ended. Do we believe that? Because there is belief, there is trust. It's trust in the first two ones that we can check it's true. Then the belief or the trust in cessation can come. The fourth noble truth is how? By practicing the path, right? So if you don't believe that it's totally possible to cease all wrong views and negative emotions, you can at least start trying and see that, I don't know if it's really going to be, there's really going to be an end to anger and desire in me, not in others, in me, and wrong views. But I can see that as I'm practicing these things, it's starting to get better. And then for me, this is already good enough. Very often people ask me, do you believe that there's enlightenment? I say, I don't know. But I see that I'm not doing anything harmful on the way there. And also, sometimes it benefits some, and it definitely benefits me, right? So for me, that's good enough. Whether there is full awakening or full enlightenment, we only see when we're there. And then we will probably go, oh my gosh, why did it take me so long to understand this? Have you, the transition between teenager and grown-up? Have you ever thought, why did I do all these stupid things as a teenager? Being a rebel, not going against the system, blah, blah, blah. It's like, have you ever wondered, like, why, what was I trying to find there? Why did I do this? And why did I do it for so long, especially? How stupid. So, I think I kind of ended all the open ends at the moment. This is another thing I do. I start this, then I have another idea, and then go there. Usually I'm able to go back. Not so much anymore. Also, never mind. Okay, karma. So what we are, when we do purification, by the way, if you have questions, please just ask, I mean, it's like, don't feel shy. Yes?
So, why, or what is the benefits of purifying karma? And what does that even mean? I mean, how, if it's like this law...
Okay, we're not there yet, so this is too quick. Thank you, but I know you're very good and you're very quick, and so like this, but we'll get there. First, maybe the need is like, why do we need to purify? Okay? Because we don't want to suffer. Right? So, by doing actions with certain attitudes that are not helpful, and there's a very clear list, what are those attitudes? Anger, attachment, wrong views. It creates imprints that in the future, whenever the conditions come for these imprints to ripen, we will not find what we want to find. So that's one thing. So that's already one result. Yeah. By purifying these kind of imprints or potentials, we will find what we want to find. What it also reduces and finally eliminates is our habits and tendencies to repeat the action. Because that, it's a bit like a boomerang karma. You throw it out, at one point it will come back. If it's positive karma, it will come back into your hand and you'll go, hey, look, I'm able to catch the boomerang, and we'll be very happy. If it's what is called unhelpful or unskillful actions, it will hit your head. And the problem with this is, with the negative one and with the positive one, we don't remember the action. So we sit there and all of a sudden, boomerang comes and we go, who threw it? And what we should say, I threw it. But no, they threw it. No, I threw it. Who made the boomerang? Who bought it? Me. So this is understanding the law of cause and effect. Whatever comes back, it's my responsibility. I've done something in the past which was either skillful or not skillful to create my own happiness, and if it's with this attitude, I want to be happy because I want to be of benefit to others, and then, then that creates a lot of positive karma. The good heart. Do you want to have a good heart?
Yes.
Not so sure, huh? Yes, okay. Some enthusiasm from the left corner there, or the right corner. What's happening in the right curve? I was on the plane with some fans from Maccabi Haifa. They were all a bit depressed because they had lost against Lisbon. So there you go. So we took football on the way back from Switzerland to Israel. Tried to cheer them up a bit. I said, hey, for an Israeli football club already playing Champions League, I said, I'm from Switzerland. Our teams always lose all the time also. But we're happy that we're there. So it's like, come on. So now I know that they're wearing green jerseys because I had to ask, because I only know Maccabi Tel Aviv was blue, I think. Or yellow, sorry. Oh, like burnt. But always blue. Yellow and blue. Yeah, there is some blue. So anyway, so they had to ask, what Maccabi is it? So they said Haifa. Okay, so enthusiasm, good heart. Otherwise, it's not much, if you don't want to have a good heart, then it's not worthwhile to put all your energy into practicing Dharma, because you will get a good heart. That is cause and effect. If you practice certain things, if you plant certain seeds, it will give this result. If you train to open your heart more and more, At one point it will come very spontaneously. And I was talking to somebody who had repaired things done in his apartment, and it was done in a really terrible way and taking advantage of him and all this. And he said, you know what? I didn't get angry. I was very reasonable, I was very logic, I was able to argue with them and all this, and I didn't get angry. So that's the result of practicing before that happens. Getting angry doesn't change the work, it's still lousy. Okay? And getting angry, then you get stomach ulcers and all this. But it doesn't mean you have to say, oh, that's also a good example. It's my karma. There's nothing I can do. You can go to the constructor and say, hey, look, what's being done here? What are we going to do now? You can even tell them that I'll sue you. But not with anger, but with reason and with logic. Because a Buddhist doesn't mean people will walk over you. But you know, whether you're angry or not, and whether you do it in order to protect the constructor from doing negative karma, that depends on your attitude. So we can very well hide behind a good motivation, right? Say, oh, I do it for the constructor. Oh, poor thing, he's going to create so much negative karma. But it's totally fake. Because, hey, he did that to my apartment, and I have to pay the bill, and blah, blah, blah. It's very difficult not to get angry. Because, of course, we expect that everybody does what we want them to do, because I do always what others want me to do. Isn't it?
That's what you think.
I need to see some smiles on your face so that you see that I'm being sarcastic. Okay? But we expect it from others. You see, our values of ethical conduct towards others is very high. Our values towards my ethical conduct, maybe it's also very high mentally, but instinctively, always find an excuse. Why not doing this or that and that? So when we start to do purification practices, we need to start to become totally honest, 100%. Yes, I did this, it's not good, without judging yourself. And then there again, this is the big thing. If somebody does something to you that maybe hurts your feelings because they didn't understand that, you know, there's a certain family situation that if one makes that joke, then I just remembered something, but again, it only works in French, because now I'm in the French part of Switzerland. So there was somebody in a restaurant, and I don't know what the conversation was, but on dit tu peux mordre tes doigts. Yeah, tu peux mordre tes doigts. You can bite your fingers. This in English you don't say, but it's kind of, you know, it was something, and she said, well, tu peux mordre tes doigts, and the person showed his hand, he didn't have fingers. And both of them laughed, okay? He said, no, I can't, I don't have fingers. It's like having regrets. It's like, then you bite your fingers. It's an expression in French. And he said, no, I can't. So kind of, you know, finding excuses and things and all this. We need to be honest without judging yourself. So if like Nitzan doesn't have fingers, we're in French part, we speak French, and say you can bite your fingers because you didn't appreciate a certain meal or something like that. He says, I don't have fingers, so I apologize to Nitzan. And probably, he said, oh, I didn't know. And Nitzan probably is not getting angry, because why? Because I didn't know that he doesn't have any fingers. Okay? So if we understand that we are doing, I don't like to say negative actions, but we're doing unskillful actions or not helpful actions. We do them out of ignorance, not really knowing what the result will bring. Do you think we would be able to forgive ourselves? Somebody says. We should have a camera here also so you can see your facial expression. It might be easier, isn't it? Have you never caught yourself after having done something negative and then getting the result that you go like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Next time I'll do it differently. Have it never happened to you? If it never happened to you, you never learned anything in your life. Because this is where we learn the best. When we understand this is not helpful, and it's not like strong habits and tendencies and all that, just an action. And we understand this is not helpful. Next time I do better. That is purification practice. That needs to be there to understand it is not helpful. I will not repeat it. So this is 2 parts of the purification practice, the most important parts. Then there's 2 other parts that come with Buddhist purification. It's called taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. This is the power of support or reliance, and then doing an action. You know. So also, like for example, if I do something really stupid, that is not helpful neither for me nor for others, and I can amend it, I will amend it. Either saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know," that's already an amendment. You know, of course I don't. If he shows me his hands, I don't need to say, "I'm sorry, I didn't know," but I'll say it very naturally, by the way. Even though I don't need to say it because I really didn't know. He knows I didn't know. Do you see what I'm trying to get at? Yeah? Yes, Ariela, you have to talk loud, okay?
Can be summarized in the 4 R's.
Yeah, wait. We're not there yet. I'm using totally normal words for the moment, okay? So if you know what I'm talking about and you know them, perfect. I'm very happy, okay? So I'm using words for people who maybe have never heard, you know, 4 powers, blah, blah, and all this. I'm talking about 4 parts, 4 things that are necessary. Understanding we've done something negative. Then then at the end we can summarize, okay? So understanding that behaving in that way is no good. Or understanding that in the past I behaved in ways that this is why now my life is so difficult. Or even better, understanding actions from the past, it will put obstacles to my enlightenment, to my being able to progress on the path, or to my future happiness or whatever. This we need to understand. It's my responsibility. Are you clear on this? And that's not easy because it's not our habit. Our habit is to blame others when things are not going well. Government, other people, you know. Who? Bibi. Some people, you know, they cannot wait for him to come back. So how can it be him? It cannot be him. Oh, they're all stupid. Yeah, of course. Sorry, that wasn't meant seriously, okay? I have no opinion on this. Actually, I have, but I don't make it public, I hope. I don't make it too public. Also, you know, I don't know enough. Okay, so that's really important to know. If I have no negative potentials that is on my mind stream, potentials like seeds, yeah, then my life would go, wow, so smoothly and so happily. Okay? So therefore, what can I do about this? So then we go to the Buddhist, yes?
You just have to say that I'm still thinking about, I'm still wondering about this point, whether it's all my responsibility or not.
Whether it's all my responsibility or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only assume. I cannot prove to you that it's your responsibility. I can only give you the Buddhist view to say yes. Then, in order, when we have doubts are very good. They're needed on the path. Otherwise, it goes into blind faith. It's no good. So it's very good when you say, I'm still not sure about it. So the only way to clear up doubts is when you say, okay, it's just a view. Most of it is just a view. Anyway, opinions, views. So you have to see, if I keep that view, what does it do to my life? See, we always have to apply it to our present situation, to my present life, to me. If I keep the view that it's my responsibility, what will happen? How will it influence my future behavior, actions, whatever? If I think it's not my responsibility, what will happen then? And you really, with this one, you really have to check How does it make me feel? If it makes you feel guilty, it's my own fault, I'm a bad person, blah, 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 then don't adopt that view, because it will block you. But keep it in the back of your head, so when you're a bit, or even then, if it makes you feel guilty, this and then start to think about the good things that you have until you're strong enough to really go like, it's my responsibility. For me, when the first time I heard about karma, I thought like, wow, this is great. I don't have to be the victim anymore, because who wants to be a victim? It's very comfortable sometimes to be the victim, because you can be lazy, you can get nasty with others because they started it and blah, 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 and I have to defend myself and all this. But it's not a nice feeling to be the victim, because we like to be in power. So victim has no power, but we don't have power. So this is, again, it's a very good question, and it's very individual. You have to check up. This is the view that the Buddha is giving us. It's my responsibility. Therefore, if that view is true, I can shape my future. And then we start to shape in whatever way we can. And if it doesn't work out, and we again fall into tendencies we don't want to have, we purify. With saying, okay. You can go a little bit, It's not enough to say, oh yeah, wrong views, what to do. No. You can really go like, shit, I did this again. And also from time to time what I do, because my point is anger, which is getting almost non-existent, I tell you. It's like, if somebody gets on my nerves, they don't feel it anymore. They used to feel it, and I can dissolve it quite quickly. It's such a relief, I tell you. I can be normal, I can be natural, even when people are total pain in the neck. These Maccabi people, poor guy had such long legs, and the space is so small. I mean, he was sitting like this with his knees like this. I thought, okay, well, if he has got long legs, it's not his fault. And it's like, and so I just went to the corner, and that was it. I could have said, hey, this is my space here. So I wasn't angry, and he was also, anyway, so, but lucky for him, my dad was a very good football player. So, and we used to, as kids, we spent every Sunday, it's Europe, right? Sunday on the football field, watching Daddy playing football. I was very proud of my dad. So of course, I almost have tears of gratitude in my eyes just to talk about this. And then you start to get interested in what's happening in football, of course. So I'm still very loyal to my dad, although he died 20 years ago. Whenever his team wins, I'm very happy.
Which team?
Gatesy, Grasshoppers. Well, no, they're in a bad spot at the moment. But anyway, so like this. So to this whole thing about, is it my responsibility? How does it make me feel? You have to find out. And if it makes you feel guilty and ashamed, go and talk to somebody. Sometimes when we do negative actions, not always, I know, but sometimes we are nasty. Like I said, I have this problem. I still have anger. I'm not saying I don't have any, but it gets reduced. So then I'm really nasty to somebody because they're getting on my nerves. They're always phoning the wrong moment and this, and then I'm not answering the way I want to answer. But it's as if there is a kind of not me force behind me, but it is me, that is pushing me to say these unpleasant things. Whatever idea this person has, no, it's not good, I don't like it, and it's not feasible. And do you know that attitude? From me, have you ever heard it? Definitely. I'm sure that I gave you, those people who know me. But you get this kind of attitude sometimes, that you feel people dislike you and this is why they don't agree with your very good ideas. Do you do the same sometimes? Yes. Yay! This is how we react. So, when we see others doing, we can do the same thing. But when I've done it, I will hang up the telephone, and then a very clear thought, this is not the way I want to be. this is what we have to decide. How do I want to be? This is our responsibility. It seems as if we're prisoner of our emotions, but we're not totally, but very much. At the moment, the emotions control us. So this is also good to understand. That makes you feel less guilty. Jung, who said, you're not your negative emotions, but you have them. So you have to take care of them. But you're not them, they're not you. You don't have to identify with them, but you have to take care of them. Like I think he called them the black sister or the black brother.
Shadow.
Or the shadow or something.
Shadow.
Huh?
Shadow. The shadow.
Parent. Shadow. Yeah, the shadow, right. Or sometimes in Germany called them black sister or black brother. Yeah. Anyway, so this is what we have to be careful about. We can do something about it. To have this confidence. I can do something about this, but this sister or this brother is very skillful. And they start to rebel, and they start to use methods that are actually going against me. So I have to be careful how I go on with them. So we have to be diplomatic, like diplomats, You have to be not coming strong forth and get out of here, but maybe make agreements or, something like this. This is a nice thing in Buddhism. You can be so creative. To work with your mind, you have to learn what is skillful. Like with your children, sometimes you have to scold them, sometimes you have to praise them. And not all of it works all the time. So we need to get to know ourselves. And this is in meditation. What is working at what moment? Because not everything is always working. So if you're already down on the floor, don't go and think about your negative stuff. And if you're all the way up there, think, okay, yeah, but still there's this and this and this and this. So we need to know these moments. Yeah. So that's the first, as Ariella said, opponent power is called. The first thing in order to purify. To really see, whoa, not only right now when I can see it, I do things that I actually don't want to do and they're not helpful because it goes against my values also. So it's another thing you have to check up. What are my values? Can I have some response from you? Maybe? What are your values? You understand the word? What are your values? Yes?
Not to hurt others.
Not to hurt others. That's very good, that's very global, that's very... A bit more specific, maybe? Things we can also do, not just not do.
Tell the truth.
Huh?
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. If they want to hear it, I would please add that. Yeah, tell the truth. If somebody asks you a question, definitely. But sometimes we're telling the truth to people, they don't want to hear it. So don't. Not that one. But otherwise, yeah, tell the truth. Then another thing is, what is true? Big question. Is there anything that is really, really true? Or are things just conventionally true? Because I'm looking from this side, and other people are looking from that side. So what is true? A very simple thing, when I put my finger, is this here, that spot, or is this there? What is it?
Depends on the view.
Huh?
Depends on the view.
Depends on the view. So it can neither be really here nor really there. It's conventionally either here or there. So that's the truth. That's with the truth. But yes, it's very good. If people ask you, I would rather say maybe sincere than true. True is such a tricky, sticky word. Everybody's looking for the truth. There is no truth. Because if it would be true, it would only be one. The moment there's two, it's not, how can it be true? So yeah, sincere, with sincerity, wanting the benefit for others maybe also, If somebody is already destroyed because they put on another 2 kilos, and they come and say, what do you think? Do you think, can you see that I, and then yeah, wow. It's not funny, come on, because that's cruel. That kind of truth is cruel. Yeah.
But then do you say no?
Huh?
So how do you respond? What would be a...
I could say, I don't know, it depends.